Greetings, programs. My name is Wretch, and I'd like to welcome you to the demo for Disjunction. Now, at PAX South last month, I played a lot of games, but in my top 5, arguably this game made the top of the list. This is kind of an action, stealth-based RPG. It checks a lot of boxes, set in a cyberpunk New York City. And if you follow my channel for any amount of time, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Cyberpunk, whether it be Shadowrun, Techno-Babylon. If there's any kind of Cyberpunk element to it, I'm probably going to be a big fan. And I hope that you guys are going to be a fan of this game. This is done by Ape Tribe Games, and I figured it'd be a perfect opportunity to go ahead and play the demo for you guys, because I do want to play this on the channel when it's released, and kind of give you guys a little sneak peek. So let's get started. November 18th. 2048, New York City. Less than 30 years from now. Incoming news broadcast. This is Elaine Chen with your evening news broadcast. Clashes between police and Central City residents continued this week after the shocking murder of decorated NYPD officer Samuel Lewis by controversial Central City community leader Lamar Hubbard. Officer Lewis stopped Hubbard near the border of Central City after an anonymous tip that Hubbard was carrying the new illicit drug known as Shard on his person. Hover over orange text to display additional information. Now, this is one of my favorite things that I saw from the demo. For lore junkies like myself, you can go ahead and put your mouse over the orange text and get a ton of information about the world they've created. A shelter for those in need, Central City is a crowded settlement of shacks and shanties spread across the Central Park area. Thousands of homeless New Yorkers erected the shanty town after the economic collapse of 2037, when it became clear that they had nowhere else to go. Violent clashes with the authorities ensued, but the park's inhabitants were able to gain widespread public support for their plight. In light of this, the mayor allowed the shantytown to remain, and it gained near complete autonomy along with the name Central City. Today, this refuge for the downtrodden is also a haven for all sorts of crime. So Central Park has essentially become its own town, its own city, right in smack dab in NYC. And Lamar Hubbard. A respected pillar of the community, Lamar Hubbard is one of Central City's most important leaders. He's been a moderating influence on the more radical elements sharing his turf, but has taken hard stances to protect his constituents in the past. His dedication to Central City is unquestionable, and he is well known among the locals for his honesty and integrity. Hence the reason they say it's the shocking murder of a decorated NYPD officer. So Lamar comes off as probably one of the things keeping Central City between order and chaos, and if he's in jail, then all kinds of bad stuff could happen. Officer Lewis stopped Hubbard because he had Shard. A new kind of highly addictive synthetic drug, Shard has devastated New York City from the streets to the penthouses. It is a dangerous neural psychostimulant that directly increases the activity of the central nervous system and produces feelings of euphoria. The origin of the drug is mysterious, as nobody knows how to manufacture it, and no major Shard dealers have yet been arrested. Kinda reminds me of Slow-Mo from Dread. Hubbard allegedly shot Officer Lewis 6 times before seeking refuge in his Central City compound. A SWAT raid apprehended Hubbard later the same day. More Shard was found on the premises, prompting investigators to believe that the drug originates in Central City. Hubbard continues to claim innocence. Okay, we got the same entries here, so you can keep on reading on the lore in case you missed it the first go. In other news, Mayor Montgomery is expected to make a decision soon on whether to sign a major contract with private security corporation Bishop Cross. Bishop Cross has offered to deploy cybernetically enhanced security personnel in New York and Central City to deal with the crime epidemic plaguing both areas. Mayor Montgomery. Elected in 2045 by a very slight margin, Kenneth Montgomery is the current mayor of New York City. Despite his efforts to keep the city running smoothly, public support has dropped for him over the years, and he's widely regarded as weak and ineffective. He's desperate for anything that might boost his popularity ahead of the elections next year. Bishop Cross, or Kraus. I guess Cross sounds good too. A conglomerate of Bishop Defense Services and Cross Industries, Bishop Cross Incorporated is North America's largest defense contractor. It operates in a number of different business segments, including private security, weapons production, materials science, and cybernetics research. Based in New York City, Bishop Cross is a major provider of security personnel to corporations and local governments across the country. So New York City is about to do a contract with these guys. Kind of reminds me of Lone Star from Shadowrun. And I'm sure that's not going to end badly. Political pressure is weighing heavily on Mayor Montgomery, as popular sentiment from New Yorkers slowly but surely shifts in favor of the contract. So things have gotten so bad that some of the people of New York City actually want private security, which is kind of crazy in this day and age, if you think about it. And here's our hero, quote-unquote. Move using the WASD keys and move your crosshair using the mouse. So we got a pretty good range of movement here. I want you to notice that this guy has glowing yellow eyes, which is pretty paramount to his character. You can interact with nearby items by pressing space. Frank, it's Sybil. You know what this is about. The wife of Lamar, Sybil Hubbard is a grassroots organizer in Central City who manages several of the town's functions. She's blunt in her manner, but maintains a reputation for getting things done. A former public interest lawyer, she is one of Central City's most resourceful and outspoken activists. Yeah, I was wondering when you'd call. It's been almost a week. I know Lamar didn't do it, and you do too. He hated cops, but he'd never kill one. We can't wait for the lawyers to deal with this. It'll take months, and it's too easy to hide things. Lamar will never get clear without help. Well, what do we have to go on? There are no public witnesses, and there's no evidence that we have access to. Isn't this your job? You're a private investigator. How about you do some fucking investigating? Anyway, I think I might have something. We didn't think anything of it at first, but it can't just be a coincidence. What are you talking about? There's a new nonprofit clinic that opened up in Central City a few months ago, offering top-notch care for free. We were suspicious. Nothing in Central is free. A couple of our people went there to get treated and told us it was the real deal. A few weeks went by, and some of those same people started getting arrested. I didn't make the connection until Lamar. He went there just last month, and now they've got him too. What do you mean they've got him? Are you saying that a nonprofit clinic set Lamar up somehow? I don't know, but it all just seems a little coincidental to me. We have nothing else, Frank. Frank gives me the impression that he is pretty mercenary, so... Sib, you know I don't work for free. You're a real piece of shit, Frank. How much information has Lamar given you over the years? I'll pay you if I ever see Lamar again, and not a single fucking penny before then. Deal. The news mentioned Lamar was found with shard on him. Do you know anything about that? I know for a fact that he wasn't found with it because we don't deal with that shit directly. We let shard into Central City, but we don't mess with the dealers. They're all small time anyway, and as far as I know, none of them know where shard actually comes from. If Lamar was framed, I don't understand his connection with the clinic or with shard. I'll go to the clinic tonight after it closes and see what I can find. Frank, try not to be too overt. I want you to stay out of sight and just get the information we're after. No bodies, all right? I'm not a maniac, Sib. I know. Thanks, Frank. Watch your back. If Lamar really was framed, you might be walking into a hornet's nest. Keep those cyber eyes of yours peeled and let me know what you find. Bye, Sib. Okay. Now, Sib wanted no bodies, and one of the things that you can do in this game by doing the stealth approach is go non-lethal. And Frank gives... Oh, here's the transition scene as we go from location to location. It's very drab, and I like that because it shows kind of the urban decay, the urban sprawl. From Frank's apartment to the clinic. It definitely has some Shadowrun style vibes to it. The information you're after is somewhere on the second floor. Recover it to complete the mission. Stay alert, and watch out for guards. So we got some mission objectives there on the top left-hand side. Find any leads related to Lamar for 10 experience points, and optional, find the upgrade kit on the second floor for 5 XP plus 1 up. 1-ups are good. But while Frank seems pretty mercenary in his attitude, I figure that if someone tells him the conditions of that contract being no bloodshed, he's going to try and honor it as best he can. Your health is displayed below your character. Each red block represents 5 health points. If you run out of health, you die. You can view an enemy's health by hovering over them with your crosshair. Press Shift to walk. Walking reduces your speed and eliminates the noise you make while moving. Walking also allows you to see enemy vision cones provided you're close enough. If you stay in an enemy's vision cone for too long, they'll become aware of your presence and attack you. Sneak past the guard in this room using Shift. Try to stay hidden in the shadows, as this will reduce the guard's vision cone. Oh, that music is even right out of Blade Runner. Hi. So we can just dun 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 dun. Click left mouse button to perform a melee attack with your tactical baton, dealing 15 points of non-lethal damage to the enemy and briefly stunning them. Frank's melee weapon of choice, the ESX-18 Impact Baton, is a tactical stun baton developed by Sentinel Defense. Equipped with parallel conductive wires, this side-handle nightstick is capable of delivering sharp electrical shocks upon impact, so it's like an old-school nightstick. Click right mouse button to perform a ranged attack with your revolver, dealing 25 points of lethal damage to your enemy. You can reload your revolver by pressing R, so you basically have bashing damage and lethal damage similar to like the White Wolf RPGs. Frank's ranged weapon of choice, the M6 Diamondback, is a double-action revolver developed by Armiger Weapon Systems. This powerful handgun is made of durable alloys and fires bullets with deadly accuracy. It is chambered for 44 Magnum and has a muzzle energy of 1,710 joules. Keep in mind that firing your revolver is loud and will alert nearby enemies. Your tactical baton, on the other hand, is silent. If you strike an enemy from behind with a melee attack, it will be a sneak attack that deals double damage. When attacking an opponent who is completely unaware, a skilled combatant can strike a vital area to inflict additional damage. This sort of tactic is particularly useful in scenarios where multiple enemies must be taken out quickly and quietly. Eliminate the guard in this room. So this is me, like, if you let go of Shift, that, for the most part, that will... Ooh, see? You gotta be very careful here. And knockout. You can interact with objects and items throughout the game by pressing space. This is used to open doors, pick up key cards, turn off cameras, and drag enemy bodies. Open the door by pressing space while standing near it. Since the door is locked, you will need to find a key card to open it. Key cards are single-use items and are consumed upon use. Pick up the key card from on top of the box using space and then open the door. Well, I'm curious. Okay, so Shift allows you don't hold it, but it switches back and forth between running and then walking. Key card found. Every floor will have an uplink node that you can activate by standing on it. Designed to rapidly transfer data through cyberspace, an uplink node is a highly effective piece of networking hardware. By interfacing with an uplink node, a user can quickly upload or download an enormous amount of information from or to their datapad. It is a particularly useful device in areas where mobile access to cyberspace is blocked or otherwise difficult to obtain. Once an uplink node is activated, all of your current progress through the floor will be saved, and you'll respawn at its location if you die. You will respawn at the beginning of the floor if you die without having activated an uplink node, except during this tutorial. An uplink node can only be activated once. Stand on the uplink node in this room to activate it. So it's our handy-dandy save point. Each character has a passive ability. The Deadeye ability allows you to strike with increased effectiveness, doubling the damage of your first attack every 10 seconds. Thanks to his high-tech cybernetic eyes, Frank possesses a heightened level of awareness that allows him to discern minute details much more quickly than the average person. In combat, Frank uses his exceptional perception and visual acuity to exploit the weaknesses of his enemies by striking where they least expect it. This ability activates automatically. Get through this room using what you've learned so far. Alright, we got this guy here. And we've got a patrol. And we can drag the bodies, which is awesome. That guy. Maybe Bob's going to take a coffee break. Oh, I guess Sam did too. Huzzah. Alrighty. Each character has 3 active abilities. Your first active ability is Shock Bolter. Frank is never without his trusty Shock Bolter, a handheld non-lethal weapon designed to fire small dart-like projectiles capable of incapacitating foes. These powerful darts use a set of 6 sharpened electrodes to deliver a high-voltage, low-amperage shock, causing intense pain and triggering widespread muscle contractions in those it strikes. The Shock Bolter ability allows you to fire a silent projectile towards your crosshair, stunning one enemy for 4 seconds. This ability has a cooldown of 10 seconds and unlimited charges, so you can use it as many times as you want. Use Shock Bolter on the guard in this room by pressing E while aiming your crosshair at him, then eliminate the guard while he's stunned. So, like so. And knockout. Ooh, he dropped some ammo too. That's nice of him. Your second active ability is Smoke Grenade. Due to the covert nature of his work, Frank usually carries a small number of smoke grenades with him in case he needs to disorient his foes. The thick smoke screen produced by each grenade provides a visual distraction that enemies cannot adequately see through, making it an ideal tool for concealment and deception. The smoke grenade allows you to throw a grenade towards your crosshair, blinding all enemies caught within the blast for 6 seconds. This ability has a cooldown of 10 seconds and 2 charges. Use Smoke Grenade on the guards in this room by pressing F while aiming your crosshair between them, and pressing F again to detonate the grenade, then eliminate the guards while they're blinded. Alright, I can do that. Oh, pfft. Okay, strange. I guess we have to activate it like right as it goes over. I was waiting for it to land. There we go. Well, it wasn't Batman effective. Well, it was effective, but maybe not as efficient. Whoa. Your third active ability is First Aid. Did I step on a nail or something? Though not a trained doctor by any means, Frank has lived through enough violent conflicts to know how to clean injuries and stitch up wounds. Whenever he leaves on a dangerous mission, Frank makes sure to take standard medical supplies with him, including antiseptic spray, burn gel, gauze bandages, and other basic remedies. The First Aid ability allows you to patch up your wounds, healing 20 health points and holding you in place for 2 seconds. This ability has a cooldown of 6 seconds and 2 charges. It looks like you've taken some damage. Use First Aid on yourself by pressing Q. So remember, each block here in our health is 5, so this will heal 4 of those blocks. So that's good to know for the future. Some enemies are tougher and more dangerous than others. Keep an eye out for them, and try to deal with them first. Get through this room using everything you've learned. So we got a patrolman. Oh. Oh, well. I guess we learned. Ow. Took a little bit of chin music. Can we go ahead and heal up a bit? That was not stealth. That was just waving that nightstick like a mad fiend. Well done. You can pause the game by pressing escape. You can open your codex by pressing tab. Your codex stores important information such as ability descriptions, mission objectives, and the area map. Find the information on the next floor to complete the mission. Okay, Frank Monroe. Mission objectives. And here's our map. Player, checkpoint. And we're at the end of this floor, which I guess we're going on to the next one. It also lets us know in the bottom left hand for the pause menu and the codex, which is handy. And what's going on over here? Oh, we've got patrol. And Daleks. Holy crap. Exterminate. Well, should he be top on our list to take out? I would assume so. Nope, you saw nothing. I wonder if they're going to eventually, like, get smart enough to call, to call for, like, reinforcements like in Metal Gear. And we nearly just died. Probably need to do this a little bit smarter. Let's try using the tase. Oh, whoops. You see nothing. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like we can pick up, like once we throw a grenade, we can't use it. So far, so good. What is this? Upgrade kit found. Oh, nice. And I see you up there. It looks like the most evil water heater ever. Well, this is not your typical non-profit. Sneak attack. That looks like where we need to go. There's our save point. We've got one heal left, so we better use it wisely. What's the map at? Okay, looks like we cleared everything that we could. And we'll heal. I don't know. Well, I assume that the electricity would work. Against the droids. Against the security bots, rather. Keycard. I'm liking this. This has so much potential in terms of level design. This datapad contains a record of all the patients the clinic has treated. Lamar's name is listed here. It looks like some of Lamar's biometric samples were sent out to an unnamed warehouse in Manhattan. Might be a valuable lead. Oh, okay, this is him talking. I better get out of here before I'm found. Use your phone to call Sybil. I did not take the phone with me? This is Sybil. Who's calling? It's Frank. I found something at the clinic last night I think might interest you. Glad to hear the job went well. There's no mention of a break-in on the news. You must have been quiet. Have any good news? Maybe. I found Lamar's patient records at the clinic. They were sent to some sort of warehouse in Manhattan, but there were no clues as to why. A warehouse? What do you think it means? I'm not sure, but if we want more answers, I'm gonna have to check it out. Alright, even if the warehouse is connected to the clinic, they won't know you're coming. We have the advantage, but be careful. Will do. I'll call you after I've finished. Frank, I'd appreciate you being as discreet this time as you were at the clinic. We really don't need to bring any attention to us by doing something reckless. I'll try my best. Bye, Sib. And guess we are heading... to our next location. Random warehouse. Upgrades. Upgrades are special bonuses that improve your character's abilities in various ways, depending on your preferred playstyle. These upgrades can be purchased at the start of every level through the use of upgrade points. You accumulate upgrades over the course of the game by finding upgrade kits. Upgrade choices are not permanent, and they can be changed at the start of every level. That's awesome. Causes Frank's Deadeye ability to increase the damage of his tactical baton by 10 for 3 seconds. Reduces the cooldown of Frank's Deadeye ability by 2 seconds every time he knocks out or kills an enemy. Increases the charges of Smoke Grenade and reduces its cooldown. Deals 15 points of non-lethal damage over 8 seconds. Wow. Causes Frank's Shock Bolter to deal 15 points of non-lethal. Oh, so we could knock people out just right then. And this is unlimited. Tell you what, I like that. Talents are special bonuses that improve your character in various ways, depending on your preferred playstyle. These talents can be purchased at the start of every level through the use of experience points. You accumulate XP over the course of the game by completing mission objectives. Talent choices are not permanent, but they can be changed at the start of every level. That is such a cool feature. Increases Frank's movement speed by 5. Increases movement speed while walking by 10. Attack speed of the revolver by 10. Attack speed of the tactical baton by 10. I think I would go with Quick Strike, but for right now, let's go ahead and just get Runner 1. And oh, we have 10 XP remaining. Excellent. Then let's do Quick Strike and Infiltration. And call that good. So the demo that I played at PAX, if I recall correctly, was only till the end of that warehouse of that first level. So I think we're in unknown territory right now. So let's try our shock. Oh. Whoops. Oh, that'll do. That was a waste of a grenade, but Oh, easy there. These guys have some reach. Okay, it's E for the shock. Yes. Sneaky, sneaky. Now you're coming back down here. Gotta get your pattern. Gotcha. Well, we're getting some good ammo, which is nice. We got that door down there. Let's look at our... Let's look at the codex. Area map. So we are going the right way. And I guess now's a good time to try. Yes. Cool. Now we know that the robots can be stunned. There's our key card. I don't know. Actually, I may have done this. It's a possibility. I was trying to hurry through the demo because there were people behind me, which was great because more people wanted to play the game. So I wasn't able to like read up on the lore or, you know, nearly the amount of stuff that I wanted. Find the upgrade kit on the first floor. Okay, well everyone's knocked out. I don't see... Oh. Well, fine. Shadows are our friends. Oh! Oh, that was bad. That was... Whoops. So as you can see, it can get very deadly very quickly. To the shadows. Shadows are our friends. There we go. Ah! There's our upgrade kit. Ah! Ooh, that guy has a shotgun. Still trying to get used to everything here. But after a while, it'll be like riding a bike. Oh! A very, very deadly bike. That's cool that you can, like, hit them around the corners, too. I bet that's handy. Everything's fine, sir. Much better. Okay, let's make sure that we don't have to do that again. Death sinks. far so good. Okay, we need to find the first and second clue related to Lamar. We did find the upgrade kit, which is awesome, but I'm not seeing anything. Player, checkpoint, stairs, okay. Doesn't look like we missed anything. Now, the cool thing about this game, guys, is Frank is only the first character. There's 2 others that you can play as. Like, how awesome is that? So that, I'm sure that they have different types of play styles and ways to go about things. So I think there's a lot of replayability here. I'm thankful for oblivious guards, as are all gamers, I would assume. Okay, shotgun guards are worse guards. So getting them out of the way is top priority. Now, I'm curious if... Okay, we can shoot over the tables. I was wondering if this was going to be a block for it, but... This is like a machine shop or a lab. Oh no, that's a lab. That's a drug lab. With the test tubes and everything. This datapad contains a detailed list of all biometric samples that were sent to this warehouse. Lamar and several recently arrested Central City leaders are listed here. Looks like some of these biometric samples were artificially duplicated. That can't be good. That's the first clue. And we got a checkpoint up here. Cool. This would be a good time for a smoke grenade, I think. Well, here. Oh dear. That'll do, pig. Now we can give you guys your proper due. Remember, we're going non-lethal here. Otherwise, we just shoot this guy in the head. Instead of a nightstick to the face. Okay, so we got one of the security robots over here. I think we've cleared a path this way, though. Oh, hello there. Gotcha. Just that moment when you realize something's horribly wrong and then a guy with scary cybernetic eyes runs towards you with an old school nightstick and starts beating you within an inch of your life. If I'm reading this datapad right, it looks like this warehouse manufactures some of the compounds needed to synthesize shard. Who the hell owns this place? There's also mention that the warehouse disposes waste in Brighton Hollow, near the flood wall. I might want to check that out. Formerly known as Brighton Beach, Brighton Hollow is a rundown neighborhood in southern Brooklyn that borders the flood wall. During the 20th century, a large number of Russian and Ukrainian immigrants settled in the area and became known for its many Russian-speaking businesses. Though the Russian mafia always maintained a strong presence in Brighton Beach, crime within the neighborhood steadily rose after it was cut off from New York City's beaches and renamed to Brighton Hollow. Now, the neighborhood is a hotspot for corruption and criminal activities of all kinds. Composed of metal and concrete, the flood wall is a massive barrier designed to safeguard New York City from coastal flooding. The structure was built in response to the imminent threat of rising sea levels due to climate change, and it mitigates the potentially disastrous effects of direct inundation on the city. Completed in 2034, the flood wall protects all of Manhattan and parts of Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx. Canals and tunnels honeycomb the wall, allowing for trade and travel beyond city limits. Oh, that's cool. Okay, we'll call Sybil. Let her know the other clue we've gathered. This is Sybil. It's Frank. I need to talk to you about what I found last night. Good to hear from you, Frank. What'd you find? You were right. Lamar was framed. I found his biometric data at the warehouse as well as others from Central City. The warehouse had been duplicating it. Someone must have planted it at the crime scene to implicate Lamar. Bastards. I knew that clinic was up to something. But why the hell does a non-profit want to set us up? Who's behind this? I'm not sure. I also found evidence that the warehouse manufactures some of the chemicals found in Shard, and that it disposes waste in Brighton Hollow, near the flood wall. Shard? Brighton Hollow is Russian turf. Why would this warehouse be dumping Shard components near the Russians? I'm not sure. There was no information at the warehouse about who really owns it. Something doesn't smell right. I have no idea what the Russians or Shard have to do with Lamar, but we need to get to the bottom of this. Brighton Hollow seems like our only lead. I investigated Russian mob operations a couple of years back. I might know where to start looking in Brighton Hollow. Thank you, Frank. What you found out about Lamar might be enough to get him off, but we still don't know why any of this happened. If the Russians and Shard are involved, this might be bigger than we think. I really appreciate your help. Sure, Sib. I'll call you if I find something. And off we go. Thanks for playing the Disjunction Demo. Please wishlist us. So this had an entirely new level in addition to what I played at PAX South, and I had a really good time. So that was the demo to Disjunction, guys. I hope you all enjoyed as much as I did. If this is a game that you want to see me play later here on the channel when the full game comes out in 2019, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your feedback. And most importantly, if this is a game that you may want to play, I have a link to this game's Steam page in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. Check out Ape Tribe Games on Twitter. They have a Discord that's right there on the bottom of the screen. And let them know that you want to play the game. Wishlist them. Show your support, because I think this is going to be a good one, guys. But regardless, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. Later days, everyone.